welcome this morning.
Great to be with you.
Nice to have you here. And you're reading about Lyndon Johnson.
Just finished it, but I've read several books about Lyndon Johnson by Robert Caro. This is The Years of Lyndon Johnson, Master of the Senate. It takes him from about his election to the Senate in 1948 through the end of the Senate in 1960.
It doesn't cover the presidency.
Doesn't cover, no, he wants to get another book out of that.
Oh. Well, what's the best part of the book?
Oh, the story how Lyndon Johnson got the Civil Rights Act of 1957 passed by getting Northwestern senators who didn't care about civil rights to vote with Southern senators who cared about civil rights, but in a very limited way. He got those guys who didn't care about each other's agendas to work together. In the real world of politics, that's the way you have to do it a lot of times.
So that was a real coup for him and for his career.
First civil rights bill in about 75 years. I don't think Johnson cared about civil rights, but he cared about being president. And he knew that he had to get a civil rights bill out of the Senate in order to do that.
Would you say that Lyndon Johnson is perhaps a mentor for you?
Oh, I hope not. I wouldn't have voted for him. And I think it's good, though, to read about people you disagree with. And Lyndon Johnson was really a sad story, I think, because he craved power. And once he got power as a president, he really didn't know what to do with it. He was best suited for the Senate, where you work deals in the cloakroom. When he became president, he was basically a people pleaser, and he couldn't please all the people. So he was a very, I think, bedeviled president. And once he was out of office, he died shortly after that. And so I think it's a pretty sad story, but I think you can learn a lot from it.
Would you say that someone who wants to go into politics could learn a lot from this?
You can learn a lot. You know, he was a master politician, and people don't like me saying that. I think he was a lot like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton wants people to like him. You contrast that with George Bush, who kind of lets it rip and says what he thinks. Frank Keating says what he thinks. So, but you can learn a lot from him. He was a master politician. He was at his best in the Senate.
Is the term master politician a term that is probably not very complimentary?
Well, I think it is complimentary. And even Bill Clinton, with whom I have great disagreement, was a very gifted politician, great communicator, great at getting people to do what he wanted them to do. So I think you have to admire the gifts of people, even if you disagree with those people. I think you can learn from what they do well.
So that's the key to politics, really, is to getting people to work together?
I don't know. I think the key to politics is know what you believe in and say what you mean and mean what you say. Clinton's not well known for that, neither was Johnson. But basically, you're working with people, you're working with problems, and I think people like supporting somebody who says what he means and means what he says. I think that's why George W. Bush is doing so well. I think that's why Reagan was a rather simple man philosophically, but he was true to his philosophy. I think that's why he was a very effective president.
I think that's a good note to close on. We thank you so much for being here today.
Great to be with you.
Thank you.